this whole talk really is an invitation for everyone here to expand what we think of when we say the word forgiveness. What is it really? What do we mean? And so the way that I have learned it, the way I teach it, the way I receive inspiration about it is not the traditional model. So we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. How I got to this work really has a lot to do, of course, with my own life history, my life story. And I didn't used to talk about this at all, but I'm finding that it's helpful for you to find out, well, you know, what's the deal? Why am I here? Why am I talking about this? And why am I so passionate about it? So my background in my career started with, I have a BA degree in peace studies and a master's in dispute resolution. So I went to school, and I dropped out and I went back to school. But anyway, my academic training was really about, okay, so what is this about conflict on this planet? Everywhere I look, and in here too, is this constant, you know, it seems like tension. And all the meditative practices are supposed to bring us out of that, but in the meantime, we're all kind of rocking and rolling in this constant conflict, right? So I really wanted to know about that. I felt like this is my ray, you know, this is my taste. You know, everybody has their things. Some people come and they do great art. Some people come and they do incredible things with animals. Well, this is my deal. What about peace on earth? What about it? So I learned to become a mediator, and that was my master's degree in dispute resolution. I still am a mediator. I think it's a great alternative to litigation. It helps people sit down and work out their conflict. But after a while, when I was doing the mediation work, I realized that I really was just putting a Band-Aid on stuff. And it started to not become very fascinating. I mean, I got good at it. I can do it. But if the point was, okay, good, we resolved this conflict, sign on the dotted line, and then you both go your separate ways, or hopefully there's still some, you know, kind of breakthrough that happens or a good relationship. But I wanted to go deeper. So I started to add communication skills to the mediation work, because I really felt like people were just missing the boat. You know, they were not understanding, and a lot of times people will come very sincerely to a situation, but then somehow, and we all know how this happens, there's a communication glitch or something happens, something weird goes on, and then a conflict can escalate very fast from there. So I started to add that, and at about that point, a little after that, I started to get into the forgiveness work. I started to work with a man named Colin Tipping, whom you may have heard of. He wrote a book called Radical Forgiveness. He's written several books. In fact, his latest book, I have a chapter in his latest book. It's called Why You Still Need to Forgive Your Parents, and How to Do It with Grace and Ease. So the chapter in this book that I wrote is really a lot about my personal story. I found that in the forgiveness work, and I've been living in Mount Shasta, I've been doing meditations, I'm into yoga, you know, I've been around. And what I found was this particular form of forgiveness went the deepest that I could find. And what I mean by that, it brought me and all of us who want to go on the journey from a place of sadness or pain or fear, from past memory, whatever trauma we've all been through something. Some of us have been through a lot. Some of us have had very, very difficult childhoods. And we can sit and meditate and be still and learn how to slow down, and that's very, very good. But if we don't deal with the emotion that's still down in the dark places, we will not be free. So this forgiveness work is all about freedom. It's all about being free and relaxed inside of our own skin. So my upbringing included some of the key ingredients for me to come to this work, which was that I was born into a family where my mom had mental illness. And she was a very wonderful, incredible, talented, beautiful woman, and she had what would be called probably today bipolar disorder or manic depressive disorder. So being her child was very, very challenging. And she would go up and then down and then up and then down. And then meanwhile, as her kid, I'm going, where's mom? You know, where is the basic mother essence? Where is she? And sometimes she'd float in for a while and it'd be heaven, and then she'd go away and it'd be hell. And so I was going heaven, hell with her on her ride. Because I didn't know any different. I had no place, I had no connection here. Because that wasn't shown to me in my childhood. So when so when I was in my 20s, my mother took her life. And that was really, really hard. So I realized that, you know, I lived with the pain of that for 8 years before I could even really explore it. And then it took me another 8 years to find the radical forgiveness. And with that forgiveness work, I realized, okay, this is not really about forgiving someone else. It seems to be. And I'll talk about that in a minute, because there are traditional view of forgiveness is, oh, someone did something horrible to me. And if I'm really open-minded and really open-hearted, then I'll forgive them. But maybe not, but maybe I will, right? But in this view, that is not about forgiving someone else. It's really about unpeeling all the layers and all the pain and suffering that I have contained in here, that we all have, and offering it to the divine. Because that's the only place that will heal us truly. We can do all kinds of other things and it's helpful. But if we want to go all the way to the deepest level possible, we have to contact the grace of God. We have to go to this force that gives us life in order to heal.